Hey, what's up? My name's Chris Rich, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you why certain Roblox games get so popular. As you know, like, certain Roblox games may go from 1,000 players to up to 10,000 players, maybe even 20,000, but there's always a cap at the top. But there's like a line that they usually don't cross, unless they do like these three things that I'm about to explain, that usually get them up to those 100,000s, even 500,000, you know what I'm saying? Like, the games like, Blox Fruits, Brookhaven, all those like trendy games. Anyways, most of these games get popular because of a specific pattern. It's not just because, there's actually a reason why these games get that popular. The first pattern that I see is often used is that most games in Roblox use a sort of gotcha in their game or some kind of gambling. It's a well-known fact in human history that gambling is very addicting, and which is why casinos exist and why they don't go out of business, So these games took advantage of that. Games like Fish or these pet games, Blox Fruits, even, yeah, but having to buy the fruits and grind for the fruits and stuff, and they get their players back because they want to re-roll or try again to get something better, something rare, something to also brag about. Because I mean, what's the point of getting something rare if you can't brag about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, again, Fish, like, okay, you're sure getting the fish is all and cool and stuff, but you're able to hold it up and showcase to the people around you that you're fishing with, and I think that's like what people usually fish for in Fish. Souls RMG is a perfect example of the game getting so popular because people just want to brag. More people keep coming into it, more people brag, bringing more people into it, and it just keeps ever growing and getting more and more addicting because people want to gamble for more bragging rights. So anyways, pattern number two is that the game is usually either the first of its kind or the cleanest of its kind. For example, games like the catalog avatar creator game, which allows you to go throughout the catalog and use it in Roblox games without having to actually buy it first. It's like one of the first of its kind and still super popular. Or even like the strongest battlegrounds. Like the strongest battlegrounds was like the first battlegrounds games, which is why a lot of the games that are like strongest battlegrounds are called battlegrounds games, because they're from the strongest battlegrounds. And if it's the first game of its kind, it attracts the most amount of people, and then those people usually stick there because that's the first game that they saw. And as long as they clean it up, keep it clean, keep updating it, then the people are gonna stick and more people are gonna play, getting more concurrent players. And then even when it branches out, even when other games copy and branch off of it, it still all leads back up to that one game because it's the original game. Same thing to say with Dress to Impress or Jailbreak. Well, actually, no, Dress to Impress leans closer towards the cleaner side, because a lot of people who played Dress to Impress remembered that there used to be a game called Fashion Famous that existed before it that was also very popular, but then Dress to Impress got even more popular because it was cleaner and it was innovative. It did something that Dress to Impress didn't, which was have better models for the fashion models. And yeah, it's also new and more modern, so it is spread across a bunch of people, which is why it's so popular now. And even, yeah, games like Build a Boat 2 or Murder Mystery 2, like those games were the first of its kind and kept the most amount of people there. And then the third pattern is that most games are, like right now, as we're recording this video in the early January 2025, Squid Game Season 2 came out. And we noticed that a lot of Roblox games up there in the trending page are Squid Game games. Like I could see, like there's multiple of them. And it's because they ride like the trend wave that pushes them up in popularity because it's something that a lot of people are talking about right now. Like if you look before, in between Squid Game Season 1 and Squid Game Season 2, like in that middle ground, they barely got any players, probably like maybe like 10,000 or 5,000. But then Season 2 coming out and new content and a new wave of Squid Game to ride on, it pushes them right up to that 100,000 concurrent player category. With those three different patterns on why certain games get so popular, there has to be a different section for Brookhaven, because while researching all of this, I noticed that a lot of people couldn't really explain why Brookhaven was so popular. And it makes sense because it doesn't really fall into any of those three categories that I mentioned earlier. So, I mean, I'll give it its own category. So, the reason why that Brookhaven is so popular and continues to be so popular now, it's at 500,000 players, is because of a lot of factors, actually. Like, it's like an amalgamation of a bunch of different factors that makes Brookhaven so popular. First one is its accessibility. Since Brookhaven has such a young player base, a lot of the players are on mobile or sometimes even on PC or console, and with all those different devices to play on, Brookhaven needs to be optimized for each device. Having it not be laggy on like mobile, for example, makes it so a lot of kids like to play it as it's smooth, not choppy, keeps their interest. The devices don't restrict any players from playing the game, basically. Second is that when Brookhaven was first created, it was also on the rise of RP games. So before Brookhaven, there was a game called, well, obviously still here, it's called Bloxburg, which was at the time costed Robux, which prevented a lot of people who wanted to play that game to play the game because it costed money. And being young, it takes a lot to get Robux to actually pay for a game. So Brookhaven took advantage of that and made a free version of Bloxburg without going in depth as to like the house building, all that stuff. But still, it's basically like a free version of Bloxburg, which is why a lot of the kids who wanted to play Bloxburg then moved and shifted over to Brookhaven because it's free and yeah, like I said, more accessible. And then the last reason why is because as a lot of people play it, it also goes on the homepage and it's the first thing that people see. And especially to younger kids who first play Roblox or when they first open their phone, first thing they see is the first thing they usually click on. So anyways, with those games being popular, I also noticed that a lot of games end up losing their popularity, and that's because they usually don't do some of these things that I'm about to explain. First thing is that they need content updates, but they need to make sure that the content updates actually matter and are positive for the game, because so many games put negative content updates in a game that makes the players despise the game because it no longer is fun, or the content update takes away something that the players love and oftentimes makes a lot of players leave. Second thing is that a lot of the games that concurrently average 100,000 players keep up with the trends. They're more modernized. Like think of Prison Life. Prison Life isn't modernized. It isn't getting updated or anything, and it's not with all of the new Roblox stuff or what people are talking about, making it like fall below all of the rest of the games. But instead, games like Dress to Impress using the new Roblox models shoots up because yeah, like I said before, it's new and improved, unlike Prison Life, which isn't as new and improved. And then the last thing is that the games needs to not be repetitive. And like I genuinely mean this, because after playing like 10 hours on a Roblox game, or even like 5 hours, if the game is repetitive, you'll just leave. And that's why it may go up in trending, but things could fall straight back down because there's nothing else to do in the game. Or it's basically the exact same thing, but with just changed UIs or something like that. That doesn't really varying content in the game, which, you know, makes it so people leave because there's nothing new. But anyways, those are the main reasons why I think that some certain Roblox games shoot up and stay up in those high numbers. If you enjoyed this content, then please, you know, like and subscribe, and maybe comment if you think there's something else that I missed, because there probably is something else that I missed, like another pattern that I didn't even notice. Make a comment about it and I'll read and respond to it, because I missed a lot in this video. I could make a sequel to it. Anyways, subscribing helps a lot, and it can also help you by seeing more of my videos. Consider subscribing. See ya.